The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning once again to everybody, and welcome to another edition of Blind Coffee Time with Blind United. I'm Ed, and I got my brother Pedro with me this morning. Good morning, Pedro.
Hey, everybody. How you doing, Ed? How's it going?
I'm good. So anyway, let me get these interest groups out the way. We got two of them today. First off, we got The Blind Kitchen with Deborah Erickson. She's doing a thing about, I guess it's all about eggs today. So she's got all kind of, cooking aids that will help us to create our favorite egg dishes. So come on in at 2 o'clock Pacific time and listen to Deborah and hear her talking about how you can, do your eggs over easy, sunny side up, scrambled, omelet, whatever. She's got it all lined up for you today. So,
hey, the sunny side up. Oh man, the omelets. Oh, yeah. I might have to jump in there and be like a fly on the wall.
I hear
you.
I hear you. She's good at what she does as well, man. We've been blessed with having a lot of good folks that do our groups. You know what I'm saying? So she's another one of them. She's an actual chef. So she's and a lot of the stuff that she sells on her website, theblindkitchen.com, it's not necessarily created to be adaptive. It's just, with her knowledge and, working in the kitchen and stuff like that. She's just right. She just found tools that, look, you know what, this will work good for us, or, to do this with or to do that with, whatever. And she's just assembled a nice selection of cooking aids, to help us in the kitchen. Plus a lot of great cooking techniques, that's the biggest thing for us as blind folks. Again, we can cook. We just can't cook the same way we used to. We got to learn these new techniques. So she's really good at that part of it. So again, come check her out at 2 o'clock. And then later on tonight, we got my brother Pedro doing his thing tonight with his technology. So what you got going on tonight? I told people to tune in and find out what your topic is going to be.
Well, tonight I'm gonna continue. I know on my previous class we talked about the ChatGPT app. Today we're going into some basic prompting techniques and how to prompt and what does prompting means and stuff like that and things to consider. Also, I'm gonna get into the different type of models that if you pay for the for the chat, you have some access to some of these models, and that could be giving it features to browse the internet and bring collect information for you. Like if you're doing a query, it will summarize everything, but it also will bring you where did it gather its data from. I'm going to show you another one that is not a lawyer, but it's trained on the board and things like that, and you can ask some basic questions, But with all this, remember to go and do your research. Also, this is a tool that gathers information for you, um, and with the newer models, there's less ghostwriting is what they call it. They're getting that under control, but it's always good to always check your work and make sure everything's good. And they got other ones like one that could make you a workout regimen, and I can answer certain general doctor questions. It also can go through your results and let you know what's improving or what's not improving and things like that. So come jump on in and get acquainted with some basic prompting techniques and stuff like that. And if you'd like to, come in and just be a fly on the wall, that's fine too. And then after, usually I, stop the class and we have an open forum, ask a little bit of questions before, the class is over. So come to join us tonight. We got two great groups. The cooking one, I'm gonna jump in there because I need some sunny side up eggs. I need to know how to make them myself.
Well, she's got those egg rings. You know what those are?
Mm-mm. This new. I didn't know eggs had a ring.
No, well, they're actually a ring that you cook your egg in.
Ooh, snap. Okay.
So, I mean, I had to go here, but when they first came out
Mm-hmm.
with the breakfast jack.
No, it's I'm not too. Me and food sometimes it's like I know I was big too.
So the first one to make a breakfast sandwich was Jack in the Box.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they created the breakfast jack, and they created these rings, dog, where they dip them in the oil or whatever,
Hmm.
set them on the grill, and then they crack an egg in the middle of them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
So it
okay.
holds the egg right there in place. It's a perfect shape, all that old kind of thing. Of course, with the breakfast jack, you don't have they break the yolk in there, but again, it keeps everything all contained and within that ring, and that way when it fits on the bun, really, really good when you take it off.
Yeah,
So,
okay. I learned something new. Coffee time is learning time.
I'm assuming that's exactly what she's talking about doing with some of that stuff. So,
Hmm.
we'll find out. I mean, the omelet is the one for me because
Yeah, I like those too.
I like omelets, but at the same time, how you flip that whole thing over once, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I've never been a good omelet maker, so I have to listen in myself. So, but anyway, we got her at 2 o'clock, and then we got Brother Pedro at 7 p.m. So come on in and check us out and listen in to what we got going on today. So, with that being said, today is Hump Day. As Brother George would say, hump the one you love. So,
Make sure
but
it's her though.
yeah, make sure it's the right one. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be humping the wrong one. So
Hmm.
that'll get you in trouble.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, you know. So, but other than that, man, I don't know. We got people commenting down here already, and ain't nobody even here to.
Let me check it out. Yeah, so I think those are gonna be some dope classes right there. Uh, jump in and gather some information. It's always good to inform yourself too, especially about cooking. I know some of our folks in our community are a little iffy about cooking sometimes, and we have cited people that put a bad condemnation on that, like, oh, they're gonna burn my apartment down. I don't want them living here, stuff like that. And that's just people that are blinded, in my view. And Tisha said.
Right. It's
Similar to the Egg McMuffin.
right. That and then she said good morning to you, and then Monica said good morning. So yeah, I was
Okay.
just waiting on you to get through talking before I read them off, but it's all good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Tisha. Yeah, I was trying to do everything.
And
But
good morning to you as well, Tisha. All that good stuff. So, but hell, I didn't even hear where you was at, Pedro. I was too busy navigating.
no, I said it's pretty good to inform yourself and how some sighted people have a negative idea of us cooking. I heard people not getting accepted to apartments because the manager didn't want to tell the blind person straight out, so they went through the person that came with them and told them, "Oh, I'm scared that they're gonna burn down my building." Oh, you know what I'm saying? They're blind. How they're gonna cook? Well, how you gonna already assume something and talk about it like if it's concrete instead of doing your research and asking the blind person so you can get informed. So that's why we do these classes so you could come and inform yourself about cooking, technology, jaws, whatever it may be. It's always good to learn for whatever source you're learning from, you know. And that's one of the
Right.
classes that we do have is advocating for yourself. So if you run into issues like that, we have an interest group for you.
I mean, again, you got to be an advocate for yourself. I mean, again, we do have to cook in a different way. We do still cook. I mean, what we're gonna do? Starve? We definitely are not rich enough to hire a personal chef or be able to go out and eat every day, right? So we got to do something. We got to, and again, when we take our training and stuff, independent living skills, that's basically what that is, cooking and cleaning. You learn how to cook in a different way, I mean, it helps out if you already knew how to cook because they
Hmm.
just teach you some different techniques and stuff to make it happen. And, at the same time, when it comes to the advocacy part of it, again, we call it advocacy, but at the same time, all you're doing is creating awareness. You're teaching that you know
That
that
close minded.
person, that closed-minded person that doesn't know. I mean, I get it. I do. I mean, well, in your mind, you're sighted. When I was sighted, how's a blind person do this? How's a blind person do that? I mean, you don't know. So, but as a blind person now, oh, it's just that one little simple thing, and I'm good. Whatever. But the folks that are sighted, they just don't get it right at this point, and that's part of what Blind United is about, trying to create that awareness so that people will truly understand that, man, we can live an independent life. We can cook for ourselves. We can clean for ourselves. I mean, we know how to scrub toilets and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We know how to raise children. You don't have to be, I mean, don't get me wrong, being sighted does help with all of the above, but it's not that it's undoable if you don't have sight. It's definitely doable. You just have to do it in a different way. That's all.
Hmm.
As an example, I had a friend of mine. He was blind, right? Uh, uh, and I used to think badly of parents I seen that would put leashes on their kids,
Hmm.
right? And then when I seen him with his son, and he had a leash on him, you know what? Now it makes sense because he can't see his child. He can't tell when his child is running off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I understand for a blind person, but look, if a sighted person has to put one around their kid's neck and can't be paying attention, I don't know. I don't
mhm,
know. I know that's some of the cases. That's not all the cases because I know those hyperactive kids that just dash out, and the
right, right,
parent has to
right.
go run out. I understand some of that too. But when I seen some of these sighted parents and they have their sons like that, you see the son trying to like let's go, and she's like ignoring the kid and talking to someone right there and just talking. Sometimes you might have to tell the kid, "Hey, look, come here, sit down. You can't be doing." You have to correct their actions.
Behavior.
their behavior, so they won't be like that. That's just some parents, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I understand where it is a usable cause. I understand a blind parent using it for certain things like that too. But believe me, my kids would have ran off like that. I would have been, hey, you ain't coming out with me like that. So you better act right. you
Right,
know,
right,
but
right.
yeah, so it's just because speaking up for yourself, being aware, using these tools, living a different life. I know that when a sighted person sees someone in a wheelchair, they don't assume, oh, how they do this, how they do that. Kind of understand, okay, they can still do what they do, they just don't got the legs. But for us, it's like, oh, they're blind. How? I couldn't see myself living blind. I don't know what would I do. It's like, oh my God, like you will just give up. You're just one of those, you know. But there's days that us as blind folks, we do get a little down. We think about our vision that we had or stuff like that. And I know we do have those folks in our community that are like, oh, I don't want to be around blind folks. Why do I need to be around blind folks and stuff like that? And I'm not one of them and stuff like that. But you're in our box. When someone sees you walking and you got that cane, they're gonna say you're a blind person. You're in our community. Even if you don't wanna conversate or you don't wanna interact with the community, sometimes it's good to have somebody around that is going through the same thing you may be going through. Because because becoming blind is not a death sentence like some sighted people and some people make it out to be. It's not. You just do different things differently. We don't have the liberty to drive, and that's one of the major ones. But who wants to drive with these crazy people how they drive nowadays, honestly?
Right, right, right. Well, I mean, again, if you don't want to be part of the community, that's your choice. But I mean, like you said, it doesn't matter when people see you out in the streets. You they put you right in the community with us. So I mean, they're gonna treat you the same way they treat us. They're gonna have the same, misconceptions and lack of understanding, awareness of who you are and what you can do, even though you might think you are better. Maybe you are. I don't know. I don't know you, but but again, that's your choice. You keep yourself separated. I prefer to, assimilate within my community. Why? Because man, it's something about being around a group of people that know what I'm dealing with every day. How I have to live my life. On them down days that you're talking about is, man, it's good to have somebody. You know what, man? I'm just feeling this today. What, man? I was feeling that last week.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I mean, it's all good, but sooner or later they come around. That's the way I see it anyway. I mean, who I see that is that way more than anybody else?
Mm.
Folks that are high partials.
Mm.
They really, again, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about y'all, whatever. Just, and I think,
Some.
I was the same way. Again, the same thing that we're talking about as far as, when I was fully sighted, I had no clue about the blind community, whatever. And then even as my vision was fading, I mean, I'm legally blind, right? I still didn't know anybody in the community. Oh, I'm better than you. I'm driving a car, whoop, 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 all this, right? I'm still working, all these other things, And then time goes on and time start going by. Next thing you know, oh, I got to quit driving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
damn. Let me, hold on. I'm starting to bump into shit. Oh, where'd that pole come from? Where'd
Mm-hmm.
that wall come from? Well, I'm in my house. I mean, now all of a sudden I can't see that wall or something, As again, you're going into the fading into darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got my hands on a cane. And I was okay, well, this helps out a lot, even though I didn't know how to use it. I mean, I had one, and then, man, it's just
Even not knowing how to use it, just knowing that you could touch something in front of you and not bump into that thing makes
Right.
a
That was
big
the whole
difference.
thing right there. Just being able to clear that pathway in front of you, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And being able to, like for instance, around the house, I'm going in and out of the house, going out front, hanging out, whatever, being able to go outside and work out a path, a route, and okay, well, I reach here, okay, that's a doorway there, or the pole of my front porch or something,
Hmm.
just being able to, I guess that's why when I finally did get the training center, my mobility was, pretty quick, as far as learning it, because
Hmm.
I pretty much self taught myself a lot of that. So,
Yeah, yeah, and at first it's gonna take a cane and stuff, and then when you get familiar with your living space, your living area, you're gonna walk around with no cane, and some people be like, How are you getting around without no cane?" And I'm like, "Well, this is my area. I know how to get around here." And the skills of mapping places down will come faster to you once you start, you know, paying attention. So sometimes I kind of learn quick. I know it takes some other people a little longer, but oh my God, getting that cane, getting some mobility skills, I have improved. My better half says that my mobility skills has improved. Just having a couple lessons with a mobility instructor. So if you feel like you got skills, but you still need a little more, it wouldn't hurt to talk to a mobility instructor. Probably have a lesson or two. Try to get it through the state. Because being independent is freedom. Being able to go to my local 7-Eleven or my bank and just take out money on my own. Don't need to give my PIN to no one. I hate giving. That's another thing that we need to probably bring up with one of these top organizations is those touch pin pads that they want you to put your pin in. They're like, well, you could give me your pin. No, I shouldn't be asked for my pin. I should have been able to put this pin in without no problem. That's another thing I'm about. I like to be really independent because honestly, what about someone ain't there one day and you need to
right,
do
right,
something?
right. Well, I
I
mean, again, and all that stuff, we've had those conversations before. I mean, again, these keypads, especially the touch pads. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now they got the numeric pads. Where they put the bump dot on five.
Yeah,
And
that
and
always
then
helps.
right, that does always help. And then they got a little shield so that as you put your fingers up in there and you feeling what to do, nobody else can see the code that you're punching in. So but again, this
What
uh,
about
that's
what?
not everywhere. You
Yeah,
know,
you're right about that. It's not everywhere, and
that's what they call that a point of sale kiosk. Is what that is.
okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
just like ATMs, you have different ones. I run into some that you could even put a screen curtain on the window so no one
right?
can see what you're doing. And I like that privacy. Not all of them
Yeah,
have it, but some of them do. And when they do, man, I just turn it on and I just do my thing. I don't care who's around. Because I honestly sometimes you could feel people when they're trying to see what the hell you're doing. Like, oh, this is a blind dude. He can't see me. And they're like over there trying to looking over your shoulder, looking around you, and you're like, you could feel that. I don't know. I
oh
could
no, you
sense that. You
can.
you could hear it. It's the noise, the how it changes, and people trip out, and sometimes I ask, "What are you doing?" And
Right,
they're like,
right, right.
"Oh,
So,
so sorry, excuse me." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Honestly,
uh,
I sometimes I grill them. I'll be like, "No, no, what are you doing? Looking over my shoulder, honestly, like what's going on?" And sometimes I let them
right.
slide. Like you don't do that to someone blind. You don't invade. You wouldn't invade no one else's space on the ATM when they were sighted. Why you invading my space when I'm doing my transaction on an ATM?
I mean, and again, it could be for a multitude of reasons. Number one, they are blind. But let me see how they doing this, and they blind. And then the nefarious thing is, okay, well, let me look over their shoulder and see if I can grab that pin number right quick. It's different
Hmm.
little things like that. So anyway, Tisha said something about going out in her backyard and doing something crazy with her fig tree. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
Okay, gardening, that's pretty nice. It de-stresses you too. If you have problems, gardening
right.
is always good, different plants, my
And
favorite
then
plant.
Monica talking about something about the Dallas training camp caught on fire and something like that.
Don't tell me so, Monica. Oh my God. It's an emergency. Nah.
Yeah, she said none of the players got hurt.
Yeah.
Where they staying at caught on fire, but nobody got hurt. Then George got. George said he thought you could purchase an egg ring at a sex store. Oh, Pedro had to jump off here. He had to go check with Monica and find out about his
No, my
beloved Dallas
my
Cowboys.
no, my phone started talking. It was weird, but
Uh,
it just started playing media on its own. I think I tapped my watch somehow.
okay.
Yeah, but what
Well,
George said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
George said he thought you could buy an egg ring at a sex store.
Oh, at a sex shop?
It's a different kind
That's
of ring, George.
yeah, George. Wow, the things you're into, man.
I mean,
Wow.
really. I mean,
What's going on, George? I
uh,
think he likes
yeah,
all that motion from the
yeah.
ring.
He's undercover freaky.
Ooh-wee. Hey, George is a funny dude, man. George needs to maybe do a special for us or do a little comedy special, man. He gets down with his comedy, you know.
We'll do the George Comedy Hour, and make that a fundraiser. How about that one?
Hey, that'd be pretty dope. George oh man, he has me crack up sometimes.
You know.
But yeah, hey, I can't believe their camp caught on fire. I hope everything's okay. I hope it's, I know they might have to train somewhere else. Hopefully the damage was not extensive. I know the players didn't got hurt because they probably took priority over them. I hope no children, no ladies got hurt, no staff,
Uh,
because they're
well,
the ones actually working. If there was the fire in the kitchen or wherever it may be, the staffs are there taking people out and making sure everybody's safe. So shout out to them.
right. They just said wherever they're staying at caught on fire, and no players were injured.
And
So,
that's great. What about the rest of the people?
well, I mean, I hear you, but hey, what we gonna do? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
But yeah, back
uh,
to what we was talking about the cane and people not knowing like sighted people not knowing things on how we do and different technologies, and this leads into a perfect time to actually bring up our walk a mile, guys. I know we have sighted people that may listen, and if you like, share this live, let them know there's a walk a mile event. If they would like to know how it feels to walk a mile in the street, how to cook, how to pour water, how to get a phone, and how we use it, how we use a computer and other things like that. Bring your family members down. Let them experience a day in the life of a blind person. And
right.
also, we will be having vendors there with resources and other things like that for you guys that are blind. So come on down and get some resources that you can hand out, or you can participate and actually find out more about these resources so you can help yourself obtain the life that you want to live.
I mean, and just so folks know, we don't literally mean walk a mile. Yeah, you will walk, blindfolded, doing your mobility just like we do, but no, you ain't gonna walk a mile. It's just that whatever that old saying is. Well, if you only walked a
And we
mile in my
walk them,
shoes,
I
you
know.
understand. I mean, we walk more than a mile, but it's just a saying. I mean, again, you're gonna come walk. You're gonna see if you can handle some of the kitchen stuff, like, pour yourself a glass of water without making a mess, without looking at it, you know, uh, uh, you know, punch that keypad on the microwave without being able to see it. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about, it doesn't matter what the keypad is. If it's a keypad and it's all flat, You got to try to figure that out, right? So again, we
Mm-hmm.
got microwaves, and okay, you got to try to figure that out. The beauty of it is, see, you're sighted, so we're going to give you an opportunity to look at that keypad before you put that sleep shade on. But now, once you put that sleep shade on, now okay, well now you got to find out where that start button is. You know, all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. Again, if you got an iPhone, which we most of us use iPhones. I mean, don't get me wrong. Got a lot of folks in our community use Android. Just the majority of us prefer iPhones. But bottom line, I can take your iPhone, turn screen curtain on, turn voiceover on, and now you got a phone that operates just like mine, but I bet you can't operate yours. You know what I'm saying? It's just okay. Now that you can't see it, what you gonna do? You know, can you
Mm-hmm.
operate your computer without looking at it? We can. You know, we're gonna
Without
show you
using
how
a
we do
mouse.
that. Yeah, we don't
Mm-hmm.
even use a mouse. I don't even have a mouse plugged into my computer. Matter of fact, I don't even have a monitor plugged into my computer.
And the only reason, like in the, let's say for example, on the Mac, when I use the trackpad, that is actually the mouse, I actually turn it into a touch surface. Basically, it gives the same gestures that I use on the iPhone on this trackpad. So I could swipe left or right. I could turn on the rotor. I could, turn off the rotor. You could do this with the keyboards, but I find it more intuitive to do with the fingers. We're used to it. We're doing it with the phone. So that's pretty nice feature to have there. And that's how I use the trackpad on my Mac computer. I'm trying to figure out if this is a feature within JAWS, but I'm not too sure. It may be a feature, but we could write an email. I think certain features need to come to JAWS that the Mac has, and it may be able to be accomplished. But yeah, so come on down, come on, see how we do things, how we, walk a mile, and I'm gonna take a quick break, and we will be back.
Right.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Have you ever considered experiencing the world as a visually impaired person does? Take a walk in our shoes and take part in activities such as crossing railroad tracks, using accessible crosswalks, operating a computer, and washing dishes, all while blindfolded. Discover the unique and wonderful aspects of our lives. This event will have vendors, food, and other workshops. The Blind United Walk a Mile in My Shoes Challenge, sponsored by Service Center for Independent Life. When October 12th in Claremont, California. If you're interested in attending or tabling at our event, please email info@blindunited.org or call 909-532-9513. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Yep, and that's info@blindunited.org, guys, for more information. If you want to be a vendor, for you to get more information, just email me or Ed. We'll get back at you. Um, yeah. So Ed, what's going on for this weekend? Any plans? Any plans?
I mean, I don't have any particular plans this weekend. Just trying to get myself together, get ready for this surgery. So,
Okay.
uh, uh,
Okay.
so trying to think what I got going on this Saturday. This is the fourth Saturday. Yeah, this will be
Mm.
actually the fourth Saturday. I don't even know what I got going on.
Oh wow, we're
Uh,
going through this. This year's going quick, honestly. This year's been flying to me. Um, Especially this month, been flying. These last 30 days has been flying. I've been like, whoa. Um, I don't. I only got a kid's birthday party, a fundraiser on Saturday for one of our Spanish groups. Well, it's a Spanish organization. I think it's Power Without Sight. That's Poder Sin Ver. We'll be doing a fundraising event. I'll be out there with them, uh, fundraising and showing my support.
What
Last
they got
week,
going on?
um, they just doing like a something. You come, it's like you pay some money and you get a plate. They talk about their things. They might be selling some stuff. I'm not too. I know they just told me, and I was like, okay, I'll be there. I didn't even ask too much information. But just like last week, we were at a NFB Pathfinder chapter, a long. They've been out a long time in Los Angeles. They've been, I think, what 60 years. They just celebrated
Well,
last year.
Pathfinder is the oldest chapter in California.
Mm, my hats off to them. And they've been the food was great. We got some barbecue guns. We turned out, we came out, we show our support, to the blind community. I like to participate and I had friends there too. So it's always good to catch up with friends and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I hate I missed that, but again, transportation issues, man. Just
Hmm.
the train at the weekend schedule, they decided that was a good weekend to work on the train track, so uh, I wasn't able to get into the city. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could have got into the city, and I love my people, but I'm sorry, not enough to where I'm going to ride around in Access for 2 3 hours by myself
Yeah, but
to
Ed
try
did
to.
donate, guys. Ed did donate.
I mean, of course, I'm going to support. Again, I appreciate everybody supports us. So, I'm just returning the favor, and I want to support them in their efforts and what they trying to do, fundraising. Because I mean, again, we are NFB. We're not anti-ACB. Well, majority of us are NFB. So again, we don't have anything against the ACB. We're just pro blind, So if you're in the blind community, we're good with you. So on that note, I got an email from. I think I was telling you about it earlier, Pedro. This we're gonna have an interview coming up on the 10th, I believe it is the date they're requesting. It's a division of ACB. They want to come in and talk about what they do. No
Okay.
problem. More than welcome to come in and talk about what you do.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
we're not against anybody. We're not in competition with anybody. We're just another outlet. You know what I'm saying? Our goal is to try to unite the community so where we can, in essence, speak with one voice. Be that person in the middle, that organization in the middle says, look, come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? We all, whether you need this or not, if it helps somebody, then we need to be behind it. We're not all the same. We all don't need the same things, but
we
if
do
we,
need access to them, though.
yeah,
No
we need
matter.
a right, regardless of who you are.
Hmm.
You think about, you're talking about the year going fast. It ain't going fast enough, Pedro. September coming up. That means that 1 year before I'll be able to put my hands on my glide. Right?
Oh, you're excited about that guy, and oh my god.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are against it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no problem if that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But if it helps me do what I want to do,
I'm
then
all for it.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, and there, I might speak for some of those people that I get what you're saying, that it's not a replacement for the cane. I heard some statement like, "Well, I don't need my cane. I'm just gonna leave it." But when I'm navigating with the device, you still got to go up and down the stairs. I might need a cane to feel these stairs or the curb. When I come to a curb, I'm not going to be sticking my foot out like a crazy person and trying to see where's the curb. I could pop out my cane and just feel it and just continue standing like I'm standing, looking all fresh and cool. Nah, but
I'm being honest. I'm gonna put a cane sheath on my glide. You
mm-hmm,
know, I mean, again, why? Because I'm gonna get somewhere and I'm not gonna know what's going on. I need to be able to reach down and grab my cane and feel what's going
and
on that way.
explore. Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, no, it's just another tool. It's all it is. You know,
Yeah, and you have to think about it, guys. This device is gonna have a battery, so it's prone to die, and you're gonna need a cane. So
well,
the cane
yeah,
is no batteries, no nothing. It doesn't get tired, so it's always good to have it. So
not
I
till
understand
you
some
get
of those
tired.
folks, but I love my technology, and sometimes it's difficult to do certain things with the cane. You're trying to listen. Sometimes it's good to have like a guide, and this could be that glide. So I'm all for technology. I'm all for it, but let's remember to give it out to the cane, because the cane is always gonna be there, and they're tools, so it's good to combine tools. Sometimes you get the best experience while combining tools.
Right. I mean, I mean, in in my opinion, is to me, it's like having a guide dog without actually having a dog. Right. It might be a little bit smarter than a guide dog, simply because it's got all of the technology built into it. But in essence, it does a lot of the same stuff that a guide dog does. And even then, if you're a guide dog user, they tell you right off the top, you can't even get a guide dog until you learn mobility. You have to have good mobility skills before they even give you a guide dog. Well, most schools, any good reputable school, will not give you a dog until your orientation and mobility. Why? Because the dog can't read your mind. The dog doesn't know where you want to go, right? It can
Hmm.
guide you around things in your journey there. Now the
Hmm.
difference is with the glide. Guess what? I'm going to be able to program in that glide where I want to go.
Hmm. But
Now,
even
once
there's
I
pros
start
and
pushing it,
cons.
right. But once I start pushing it, now it's working that path. It's clearing. Is plotting a route. Looking through the camera of what's going on in front of me. It's going to walk me around all of the obstacles and whatever, and then it's going to turn the corners I need to turn when I need to turn, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
So again, it's just it's just another tool. That's all it is. So
Yeah, and I could see the pros. I could see there's been incidents when people use a guide dog and they get around well, and they might a sighted person might say like, yeah, it's that door over there, and the dog might be trying to hold you back because the dog actually knows something, and sometimes the dogs are correct. Okay, and that's a plus. The dogs learn. I know the glide learns too, but the glide wouldn't hold you back. It might take you to the door, to a bathroom door, but it might be the wrong one. It's gonna take you to read the braille or feel the sign. So
yeah.
there's ups and downs to all the type of tools you're gonna have, but combining them, I think, will be the better outcome. A cane and a glide, man. I'm about to take a trip around. I'm gonna take it a couple laps.
Hmm.
I think I know a couple scenarios I'm gonna put on it. You know what I mean? And let's see how it holds up.
Well, I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on it and put it through its paces and see I truly do believe it's worth the investment, but you don't never know until you get your hands on it. And then even at that, considering the fact that it has AI in it, fresh out of the box, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to have a certain level of data, into the model.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole first year, man, it's the data that it's going to be getting from everybody using it, and and compiling and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's the second,
Hmm.
third year, man, that thing is going to be a monster.
Yeah, one thing that I haven't really heard of, I would like to know their privacy things, because if they can know my path, as long as they don't give my ends, my home, and all into it, I'm good with that. It could get the data from the past, but certain personal data should be private. Apple does a good job. You enter a map's location, and if you go on the route and it wants to know the traffic, it just knows your route, but it doesn't give the end location or the starting location addresses. It doesn't even give your phone's model name, nothing like that. It keeps it real private, and that's one of the things we need to kind of know, especially with other
Uh,
companies. And that's not just Glide, because man, all these spam calls, all this information getting leaked, all these hackers getting all these databases. It's better. We need to be strong about our privacy. We
I
gotta
mean,
be
I agree. I mean, but like you said, it's not just them. It's just any,
any.
GPS, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They could gather that data as well.
Mhm.
But here's the beauty about what I like about the way Amos and the Glide team, the Glidance team, are doing. Man, every month they have their virtual meetings. You know what I'm saying? Their Zoom meetings where you can come on and you can ask that question. Okay, I'm gonna be using this. It's got GPS put into it. What's that privacy as far as, you know, it my information is gonna be in there. I mean, it's gonna know where my house is. It's gonna know where my bank is. It's gonna know, where my girlfriend lives. All this other kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's good to know if it's gonna stay on device or is it gonna be stored in a server somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes you don't want everybody knowing where you're at, what you're doing without, it's just privacy, you know what I mean? And I bet you they're probably good about it and all that. I was just certain questions I would like to ask in one of those meetings coming up. I might have to jump into it because they do have a monthly meeting. They love to talk to the community and get our feedback, and that's pretty good also. Another thing that I saw, Ed, too, they said stay tuned. Applevis might not be gone. So they're gonna drop an announcement. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't know if
It's
Applevis.
worth saving if they can find a way to save it. I mean, we've had that conversation, ever since them saying that it was going to go away. I mean, we've made a few changes even within Blind United. We've suggested changes, to other folks or whatever. You don't need to have one person that holds all the keys. You need to make sure you have a team and everybody has a copy of those keys. That way, if something happens like this gentleman that founded Applevis, I mean, he's got some medical issues and stuff like that coming up, whatever. I mean, I got medical issues coming up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have somebody that can step into your shoes when you need to step away. You got to have somebody that can, take the helm and continue to steer the ship where in the direction it needs to go. All that kind of stuff. So I hope they find a way to do it. I mean, this has been a great resource for many, many years for the blind community. Again, I use it a lot. When I go through the newsletter and okay, this is a good app. Okay, well, cool. Or maybe there was an app that I didn't like, right? And then it's listed in there as as far as the updates that it has recently gotten, and it lets you know, okay, well, it's dramatically improved with these updates. Okay, now it's doable where it wasn't before, right?
Hmm.
So Apple Vista is a good resource.
Yeah, a great resource when it comes to Apple. They have a couple of free tutorials on getting started with your iPhone. I also like their blog. Go check that out too. They'll be having good articles. So, and it's a good resource for the blind community. I know people online were upset, and they were trying to do something about it. So I hope. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, and what will the announcement be?
Right,
Honestly, I think it was a week from now or less. I'm not too sure. I just saw it right quick. I should have wrote it in my notes down, but I was just skimming through the online, guys,
right, right,
and
right, right.
so that's pretty dope that they might be able to stay up. Because a lot of people did rely on that. And they just don't only concentrate on iPhones. They have for Apple Watch, iPad, and Mac and stuff like that. And the applications, I mean, you could go into that list and they break them down by category, but they got a lot, hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of apps that you're able to go and uh, research about it and see what you may need. And you might find it right there in Apple Biz. And then now you could just hit that link and it will open up that app store and you're
Right.
there.
I mean, and it gives legitimate reviews of these apps. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, somebody just sitting there trying to be a critic. You know what I'm saying? You got folks from the community reviewing these apps on how they work. You know what I'm saying? How do they work for us in our community, in real life situations, So again, it's a great resource. Like I said, I like it. I really do.
Yeah, and I haven't found another one like that. There might be a couple more and stuff like that, And Facebook been a good resource. They do have a group out there, even in our group, on for our Zoom technology group, we post all types of different things there, so you could find good resources there too, and good people that if you drop a post, they're down to help, So that's always good. Anytime you need to go figure something out, it's good to Google it and stuff like that. But man, Applevis was an excellent resource, and I hope it doesn't go by the west side.
Right. So, speaking of resources, I mean, let me just go here. If you're looking for somewhere, where you can pick up a nice cane, a custom cane, a cane accessory like a Bluetooth speaker, or maybe you're a high or low partial, whatever. Maybe you might like a light that you can use at night to help light up the sidewalk in front of you, help you out a little bit. Whatever the case may be, a new tip. Again, any model cane you like. I mean, he's got the telescopic canes. He's got folding canes. He's got graphite canes. He's got aircraft strength aluminum canes. He just got a lot of different stuff. Is customcane.com. That's custom with a K. Jimmy is a great man. He's been doing this for a while. He started that business as a side hustle to support himself as he was going through college, getting his degree after losing his sight. So now that he's done all of that and he's got his degree, he's started a nonprofit called youcangive.org. So now all the proceeds from customcane.com go directly to youcangive.org, where Jimmy collects canes from us, as well as other folks. I mean, he's like us. He'll get a cane from NFB. He'll get a cane from ACB. He don't care who gives him a cane, an old cane, beat up cane, and give it to him in pieces with a piece of tape holding it all together, whatever. He don't care. He takes them, he refurbishes them. If they need new vinyl on them, he'll rewrap them. Whatever the case may be, he's gonna make them fix. He's gonna fix them, and then what he's gonna do, he's gonna pack those canes up, and he's gonna take those canes to a third world country and pass them out to people who would not otherwise be able to get a cane. And it's not like he just Santa from the sky dropping canes down on everybody. No, it's not like that. He literally takes a mobility instructor with him. These folks literally get mobility lessons. Of course, they can't get into, extensive training such as we get here in the States, right? But at least they learn the proper way to use their cane. And then on top of that, he gives them a solar powered digital recorder that already is preloaded with mobility instructions as well as cane repair instructions. And there's a couple other things on there as well. But bottom line, he gives these folks all of that.
I know. And getting that cane in your hand, folks, like how we were saying earlier, just to clear that path, just to walk out. You could check out on his website. He has videos when he gives out these canes and these devices. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would do without my cane. I'll be scared to walk down some stairs and all that. Like, what am I gonna do? How is a car gonna know I'm blind when I'm crossing the street?
All of that.
All that. Like, think about that. Some folks don't even have a cane to do that in some of these countries, and that is something he's doing, that is bringing canes to all types of different blind folks all over the world. So give it out
Uh,
to give it out to You Can Give, guys. And if you need an accessory, man, custom canes. I got a cane sheath, man. I got a teardrop that is like made out of this type of plastic material because I want a higher pitch sound when I'm tapping for and mushroom tip gives me that sound, but this plastic teardrop, it's like a plastic, it's not all plastic, because you know what I mean.
right, right,
But
right, right.
it gives a higher, when I tap the floor, it gives a higher pitch tone, and I'm able to hear further. It's weird the way I kind of see with my ears a little, and it's
Well,
nothing
no,
like Daredevil.
it's weird to sighted folks. They don't understand. I mean, some folks are really good with echolocation. I'm not one of them, right? People tap. Man, I mean, for those my brothers and sisters out there that do the tap method, I love y'all. Why? I can follow y'all around the planet. Now, do I do that tap? I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, me, I'm more of a constant contact person, right? I like
Hmm.
to keep my cane on the ground. I like to make my cane sweep from side to side. I want to make sure ain't nothing in my pathway, you know.
Hmm.
Now, again, just depending on where I'm at, I might, sweep tap, sweep tap, sweep tap, whatever. Or, what am I also, what they call it? Some folks call it shorelining. I call it trailing. I mean, I follow walls and stuff, so I'm constantly tapping on the wall or the grass line or whatever the case may be as I'm walking down the street or through a building or whatever.
Hmm.
It just again, we're not all the same. We all do things in a different way. Whatever works best for you, that's what's best for you, right? So,
Hmm.
Pedro's good with his tapping and whatnot. Hey, no problem. Tap on, my brother. I'll follow you right on down the way. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on tapping. As long as you tapping, I know which way to go.
Hmm.
Where with his tapping, he can tell, oh, there's a doorway over there. Oh, there's some people sitting up here to the left. Oh, there's some other people sitting up to the right. Because his hearing is in that, he's in tune to that level where he can hear, how the sound changes when it bounces off of stuff. For anybody that's ever seen the movie Ray, he basically explains that he wears hard sole shoes. That way it makes sounds as he's walking down the hallway. He can tell when he's passing a doorway or whatever the case may
A
be,
hallway. Hmm. And
So
it changes. It changes. Even when I'm navigating a mall, I might navigate it slower, but I could tell when I walk into when I walk into a lobby and then I walk into a more open area, the sound changes. Even though it's all echoey and it does mess with my hearing, I have to do it slower and pay more attention. But even then, when I walk in a mall, I could hear the sound, from it lets me know where there's a door and things like that. Um, and then especially outside when I'm walking, it won't tell me the path, but it will let me know there's a table, an object. That's what I basically say. I don't know what it is until I get to it, but I know there's an object, a pole, a wall. Walls I could tell, so it's just kind of knowing some of that. And some people do it different. I do the constant contact sometimes. I've been doing it more because Ed has told me, and I've been like, let me try this, and it is better sometimes when you tap and go back and you're tapping and tapping and you're not really using the sound. Sometimes you want to feel when the grass ends. Sometimes you need to know when a step is coming. And if you're constantly tapping up and down, you might not feel that step exactly.
Right. And it depends on the environment. I mean, like you say, inside of a building, whatever, it's kind of smooth. You really ain't got a whole lot to worry about when you out navigating the sidewalks and stuff, you don't never know if a root done pushed up a piece of sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Or something, again, there's an obstacle in your way. That constant contact is going to tell you so you don't trip over that. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it just, you got to learn all of it. Yeah, it's good to know it all. So, with all that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed what we had for you today. A little bit of conversation about a lot of different stuff, but
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any last comments before you go, or are you already on that button?
I'm already on the button. There wasn't nothing else down there. Last person was still George talking about that egg ring.
George and his rings. I hope Lulu got one.
Oh, she got one. It ain't around. It's in his nose. That's where it is. She just pulls him around. Got a chain hooked to her. She just drag him around by his nose. So, no, George and Lulu, they're great people. They are folks down from out of Dallas. El Paso. But anyway, other than that, again, we hope to see y'all at 2:00 with Deborah and the Blind Kitchen. If not, come in and check out Pedro and learn how to do some chat stuff on your phone and all that good stuff. Learn a little bit more about prompting and whatnot. That'll be at 7:00 tonight. So on that note, my brother Pedro, I appreciate you. And for everybody, Monica, Tisha, George, whoever else may be listening in later on, man, please run over. If you're on Facebook, please run over to the Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups. Join up over there. Run to our Facebook page, Blind United. Please follow us over there. If you're on YouTube, please run over to Blind United and like, subscribe, all that good stuff over there. Hit that notification bell, all of that, anything you want to know about Blind United, hey, info@blindunited.org, and we'll get back at you and make sure you got everything you need to know about Blind United. So on that note, everybody have a great day. Pedro, my brother, I appreciate you, and we are out.